Here's a question. What's the name of your growth director? What? You don't have a growth director? Well, why not? After all, you have a finance director, don't you? And a marketing director, and a sales director, an HR director. I've even come across companies that had a director of first impressions, although it turned out that was a rather posh name for their receptionist. But no growth director, really? In that case, who's accountable for growth in your company? Who brings the growth strategy to the executive and persuades them to support it? Who reports progress? Who gets rewarded when your company grows strongly, and perhaps more pertinently, who gets fired if you're not growing at all? But if you don't have a growth director position in your business, well, you're not alone. Incredibly, just 4% of the world's consumer businesses have a growth director position or equivalent. But does this lack of executive accountability for growth really matter? Well, yes, I'd say it does. After all, how confident would you be in delivering your bottom line numbers every year if you didn't have a finance director? How confident would you be that your computer systems would talk to each other without an IT director? How confident would you be that your HR programs, your remuneration, your training and development would work optimally if you did not have an HR director responsible for those things? And I'm afraid that without clear executive accountability for growth, it's likely that your company will not have a clear and effective growth strategy. It's unlikely that you will have executive alignment on what your growth priorities are. It's unlikely you'll have the right metrics in place to measure your propensity for growth. And it's unlikely that you'll have adequate resources allocated to drive growth. And given this remarkable lack of accountability across the business world, is it really any wonder that Bain recently concluded that 9 out of 10 management teams fail to grow their companies profitably? Now, I call this strange phenomenon the growth paradox, and I explore the reasons for it and what your company can do to avoid it in this series of videos and in my recently published book, The Growth Director's Secret. If you want to grow profitably, the growth director's advice would be this: appoint a growth director, or at least ensure executive accountability for growth is clear. But that's just a first step. If you want to find out more about how to grow significantly, sustainably, and profitably, then sign up for this series of videos or get out there and buy a copy of my book. Who knows, you might just discover the growth director's secret.